Alright, my fellow agents, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and one of the most commonly asked questions I get here at the channel are what are my favorite builds to put together based around the Lexington, and truth be told, I mean pretty much anything you do with this weapon is going to be pretty much lights out. However, having said that, there happen to be a handful of builds that I really lean into when I am using the Lexington. One of them is based around the Heartbreaker gear set. Today I'm going to be showing you 3 different variations I recommend you try out. And if you don't have that weapon as yet, thankfully we do have the end of season stretch goals that starts on the 18th. And in this video I will show you a few other different options you may have if you do not have the Lexington. Alright, so starting with the specialization, we are going to be using Technician, and we're doing that for 2 main reasons. Now the primary one is because it gives us access to the linked laser pointer, and when you equip that to any long-barreled weapon, you're going to automatically pulse every single enemy you target. That comes into play with the talent on our weapon and our gear set. However, if you are on point with your headshots, you don't need to use the linked laser pointer. I'll talk about that more in a moment, but this is going to be an incredibly user-friendly build you can put together, and you don't have to worry about hitting those headshots in order to proc certain talents. Now the specialization also gives you access to the Artificer Hive that is going to increase your skilled efficiency and duration. And always remember, you need to make sure you have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you're using. Now needless to say, my primary weapon for this build is the Lexington. Absolutely love this weapon. You can see it's at expertise level 30. It does have the talent flatline, and that is going to amplify weapon damage by 15% to pulsed enemies. After 4 kills, it applies pulse to the next enemy you hit. However, because of that linked laser pointer, once again, every single enemy we target is going to automatically be pulsed, so we do not need to worry about those headshots. As far as my secondary is concerned, I'm using the Stack Broker to build stacks for Heartbreaker as quickly as possible. You have a few other options as well. You have the Rocket Roll Shotgun. You also have a regular ACS-12 if you don't have either of those weapons I just mentioned. My sidearm is the Quick Step. Going to put that in my hand anytime I want to rip around the map as quickly as possible. Alright, now moving on to the first build I'll be showing you, starting with the mask. It's the first of 4 pieces of Heartbreaker. You can see the bonuses are as follows. 2 pieces 15% assault rifle and LMG damage, 3 pieces 15% weapon handling, and 4 pieces heart stopper, where headshots apply pulse for 5 seconds. Weapon hits on pulsed enemies adds a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1.1% weapon damage, up to a max of 50 stacks. 2 stacks are lost each second. However, because we are wearing the Heartbreaker body armor, we have access to the talent max BPM, and that is going to increase the max stacks of Heartstopper from 50 to 100. Now, this is where I once again want to highlight, remember, this is just a template. You need to try out different variations. You may want those extra stacks. Some of you, depending on how you play the game, may not need them. Right after that, we have the holster. It's the 1 piece of Grupo that is going to give us an extra 13% crit hit damage bonus. Following that, we have the knee pads. That is the 3rd piece of Heartbreaker. You can see I'm stacking crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Continuing on to the gloves, you can see they are the Overdogs. I have a hard time not using these things. Absolutely love them. They have the talent Weakest Link that amplifies weapon damage by 30% to the lowest ranking enemy currently in combat as per the tier hierarchy. And last but not least, we have the backpack, 4th and final piece of Heartbreaker. This has the talent Cold, which increases bonus armor gain per stack of Heartstopper from 1% to 2%, so I do enjoy using that backpack as well. As far as my skills are concerned, I'm using a combination of the Artificer Hive and the Crusader Shield. And that, my friends, is going to take us to the second variation I want to show you really quick. We are going to switch to a piece of unit alloys on the gloves. We're then going to switch the holster to the Salvo holster. That will be the 2nd piece of unit alloys. Having both of these equipped will give us that extra 5% rate of fire and the 20% assault rifle damage bonus. And as you can see, because we are using the Salvo, that will give us an additional 5% rate of fire increase as well. Now another option I want to highlight really quick is we are now just going to swap the backpack to the Ninja Bike. Now most of you know exactly how this works. It has the talent Resourceful. Slots in with any equipped gear set and or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set's bonus. And that simply means even though we only have 3 pieces of the Heartbreaker gear set equipped, we do get that 4-piece bonus. And because we have 2 pieces of the unit alloys, we also get that 3rd brand set bonus, which is 50% magazine size. So this build is a ton of fun to use as well. Finally, my fellow agents, it takes us to the final build I'll be highlighting today, and this one's just an OG classic. Alright, so we're doing 4 pieces of Heartbreaker. You can see the knee pads are the Fox's Prayer knee pads. We are using these for that middle attribute, 8% damage to targets out of cover. Gloves are Contractor's gloves. We're using these for that middle attribute, 8% damage to armor. And in my opinion, and please let me know your thoughts in the comment section, this still happens to be one of the best combinations in the game as far as I'm concerned. Now, as promised, I do want to highlight another weapon you can use during this thing. First of all, any long-barreled assault rifle that you can put that linked laser pointer on, feel free to use that. I mean, I know a lot of players out there like to use a Police M4 or a Carbine 7 with the Talon Flatline. That can get the job done. Another popular weapon, as you can see on screen right now, is the Kingbreaker. This has the Talon Perfect Flatline, and this weapon hits like a f***ing truck, but the problem is the RPM is a little bit slow. But if you happen to use this weapon with the one variation I showed you with 2-unit alloys, that will definitely have a big impact. Hope this helped you out, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage and a few final thoughts. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible continued support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Hello once again, my fellow agents. I hope you're doing well in this fine day. All right, do me a favor. Let me know in the comments section 2 things. First of all, have you completed the new Climax Takeover mission? And secondly, have you completed the new incursion? For me, haven't even attempted the new incursion as yet, unfortunately. You know, I gotta work. But it is my sincere hope that over the next few days I will actually get some free time and be able to jump into this thing. I will keep you posted, my friends. I also need to mention in the gameplay footage you're looking at right now, I'm using the first variation I was highlighting. That is the one with 4 Heartbreaker, 1 Gruppo, and the Overdog's gloves. That's all I got for this video, my friends. Once again, I need to race out the door. I need to thank you, as always, for your incredible support, your patience over the last 3 months, and just things have been pretty damn hectic, but hopefully soon I'll be able to get back on a regular posting schedule. I keep saying that, but you know what? I'm gonna stop saying it. When it happens, it happens. You know what I mean? Anyway, thank you once again for everything, and I will see you in the next one.
and move the supplies you recovered back to the bridge. We'll find Danvers and make him pay for this. There's more cleaner activity in Dumbo. I'll check in with scouts and call if we find anything.